Against the side of FaZe Clan, Inferno will get kicked off. The second map of this series. Winner of this best of three heads to the semi-finals. FaZe would love to avoid the option of not having to play Na'Vi up until the grand final. Well, if they win this map, they will be in that reality. Certainly sided with FaZe here. Are the odds? Config looking down banana. Multiple players on FaZe positioned here.
Twist able to get in behind logs early. They had a flash ready from karrigan if they were to see any CT aggression, but now that utility can instead be used towards the bomb site. Boost up for Twist, spots out Config early. Still no response from Astralis, who have left Config completely alone on this B site. FaZe were just making sure they got that early info though, got that early map control. Now they start to slowly move back to mid. If they were to run into A, the way Astralis are playing this, it's so passive, it's so hard to deal with some of these positions. Back towards Graveyard, back towards Pit. Maybe if you have players pushing in through the apartments, it would be helpful, but Glaive's here with dualies, and they're going to get coming in through short. They could get shut down here.
Glaive goes up into the apartments. It's one onto broky. Twist gets a double kill, but Glaive once again delivering some beautiful impact on the Jewel Berettas. Rains inside of the smoke, and that smoke in the pit is keeping him alive, and he will go around and eventually get his kill. Karrigan protects him. Config now left in the 1v2. Oh, a lovely shot. Clinical onto the head of Rain, and now just karrigan, but Config has taken damage. The initial shot of karrigan has done the most of the damage, and karrigan will close out the pistol. FaZe have the first round of Inferno.
Great shots from karrigan. Has to hit the headshot twice, and he does exactly that. And for FaZe, they were running into Astralis' stack here. Once Glaive clears out the apartments, it feels like it's going to be a crossfire that's just deadly. But Twist gets a couple of massive entry kills, and then both karrigan and Rain pop up with kills at the right time once they figure out the positions of the remaining Astralis players. Despite having the stack, despite having a setup that looked so good to counter the short play, FaZe are able to overcome Astralis early. That's some good early nade damage against this force buy from the CTs.
Astralis, if they are able to convert this force buy win, could obviously give them that option to build on the CT side early, which we see a glimpse of on Overpass, how they can perform on the CT side, and I think that's been the story of Astralis throughout this season. CT sides have not been the weakness. Good kill for Config. Doesn't see karrigan, but just lays some damage down through the smoke, and enough shots will land perfectly towards karrigan to remove him and give him his first death of Inferno. FaZe having to deal with the deficit early, 45 seconds. Re-smoke coming in from Astralis towards top of B. This could get a bit messy. The clock running down so low at this point. Config's going to go peeking in towards mid. He wants the gun, and he will eventually pick it up. Now he has the Galil.
They go back towards him. Spray successful, but he's always going to be traded by Rops. Farlig's just staying up in the apartments, and Twist is trying to see if he can cut off this rotation. That would leave Farlig alone on the site, and Farlig's looking to get the timing right, but he's been dealt with, and it looks like FaZe should be in a comfortable position now.
Yeah, important kill that for Rops to take out Farlig. That's the only option Astralis have of winning this round. Config does quite a bit of work that started the position at long and gets a spam kill through the smoke, goes to pick up the Galil and gets one. But C goes down, and Farlig unable to find success in the apartments. It is recovered for FaZe Clan as they go 2-0 up. Astralis have no money going into this due to the force buy. This is the Config Deeg. Moves forward to get the Galil, getting the one pick. If he got that second kill with the Galil too, that would have been a very scary scenario for FaZe Clan. For FaZe, though, at the start of this roster's history, maybe not with Robs, but when karrigan first joined the team, they had terrible T-sides, right? Didn't really click that easily at all. I remember watching a lot of their performances early on in this team's history. Took a long time for them to adjust. Rob slots in. It seems to be working from the get-go. Just about the pieces.
blameF tries to fight. Wasn't a bad position to try and catch someone off guard, but as soon as you miss the shot, you're in trouble. There is a missed smoke, but only a P250 to try and punish. broky will actually just take the fight to them. Looking to make even more money. He will get a couple of kills. So strong start for FaZe on their T side.
Yeah, great start, 3-0. As you would expect once they break down the force. And it was good to hear from blameF at his interview yesterday. Obviously, when FaZe made the, rather Astralis made the arena, we got to have a little chat with blameF and see how things are going. Obviously, it was revealed in a later interview that blameF has actually started calling a little bit when it came to Mirage. So he's calling on that map specifically, and they looked better coming into that. And just focusing on his own individual ability. Going straight from the officials, straight from the straight back to the prac room, and just going into deathmatch and killing 1,000 more bots. So, yeah, I mean, it is incredible to see blameF's work ethic. Clearly starting to pay off, well, has been paying off for the past few months, but once his teammates start stepping up too, hopefully we'll start to see him get a few rewards for that work.
I think he also said it was his first time making it to the playoffs in Cologne, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
He was saying that was something he was very excited about.
That's the crazy thing about blameF as well. I think he just recently had his first major appearance too. You know, he's been around for what feels like a long time, but he really only came in during the pandemic and therefore wasn't really at a lot of lands, hasn't been to the big arenas, hasn't been to the big staples of the Counter-Strike calendar, but he has become a staple player within our scene. So finally good to see him get some of those rewards and get some of those opportunities and experiences. See what he's able to do with them. Obviously, this matchup is all about determining who will go to the quarterfinals and who will go to the semis. They're the best path and the easiest path to go to that grand final. You want to head to the semi as soon as possible. Have an extra day to prepare to.
Twist got battered away from Banana at the start of this round. Took a lot of damage, so they've given the AWP into his hands. Get into this first gun round. Farlig still holding into top mid. FaZe haven't been able to take much of the map control they would want early here. 50 seconds remaining. They haven't taken Banana. They haven't taken top mid yet. They want to change that though. karrigan snuck past. Farlig there taking damage from the molly. karrigan will have heard that, and the missed shot means it's an easy kill for karrigan.
Yeah, it's rough there for Farlig not to find impact with the sniper. karrigan moving forward with a second kill. It's Config that's gone down this time. blameF with one from the pit, but he has sustained heavy damage, and they know where he is. They're trying to force him out of the back of the pit, and Robs drops on down, hunting his prey. blameF is gone, and Astralis did not do enough on the initial A-hold to compete for a retake, so the save call has to be made here for blameF and Zipex. You hate to point it out, but Farlig, this is another slow start, another crucial miss. When you're at this level, when you're at this point in the competition as well, when you want to head to the semi-finals, you're playing against some of the best teams in the world, the best team in the world of ranking at times, and you have to hit those shots. You have to get at least one of those.
Yeah, just couldn't take that initial opportunity. And it's especially tough when you commit so hard to that fight. You commit into the open. You are putting full pressure on yourself to hit that shot. If you don't, you are in trouble. Bomb planted on the far side of the site, so Rops will just about survive in the pit, taking about 50 damage. But it's what allowed karrigan to get his 2 entry kills. This was the first. Farlig misses the shot, and then karrigan, as this smoke fades, is also able to turn it onto Config. blameF was left on an island in pit, nothing he could do. FaZe off to a 4-0 lead, and Astralis again starting slow early.
Yeah, and this time it's on the CT side. And that's worse for Astralis, given the fact that we have seen the T-sided woes.
A lot of utility early from Astralis here on Banana. They threw this smoke down fairly deep, a couple of nades, incendiary. He has done some damage onto Twists. They will now start to rotate away from that 4 early B stack. They've They've left Zipex with a bit of utility on B to delay if he needs to, but it's the A site where we are going to see Config tested. He tries to beat the smoke, but karrigan wins yet another early fight.
Yeah, karrigan's been really solid individually today. Even on Overpass, was having an incredible CT side, and strong start again here on Inferno. Rain with a kill on Farlig, blameF. Dip into top mid, but that smoke thrown out from the CTs has left a significant gap. You don't really want to go into that as the T. You would don't feel too comfortable extending out top mid and exposing yourself to a possible kill from long, but Zipex has just left the B site to go over towards CT, close to the arches. Eventually realizes there isn't a lot of commitment here for FaZe towards A, so he's been sent back, and not only will he be here on the B site, but blameF has now rotated over as well. They like to try and lock in this B defense. The setup tasked with dealing with FaZe's attack, and here come the smokes.
Zipex holding up top. They should clear this angle or at least trade it, and they do, but blameF still in position. Broky misses his opportunity, and it's up to Rops to make this work.
Nade's gonna sink right onto blameF, and now it is Rops versus glaive. Glaive quickly up, Banana has the angle to deny, and Rops will go down to the rifle of glaive. The first round for Astralis picked up.
They got a lot of production out of those rifles. Got them into the right positions towards that B bomb site. The initial trades were fine for FaZe. You get a 2-for-1 into top mid. You get yourself into an advantageous position. But it was this missed shot from broky that allowed blameF to double down. And then glaive was so quick in on the flank that Rops had no chance in the clutch.
Yeah, it was a really solid rotation back as well, because there was a huge opening in that B site for FaZe to try and capitalize on. Around the 30-second mark left in the round, blameF and Zipex get back into the site just in the nick of time. FaZe commit in with a double smokes. And the rest is history. Astralis take it. FaZe able to buy right back, though. That's the problem for Astralis. It can't just be a flash in the pan.
This will be a fast A play.
And Farlig needs to make it work. He cannot go down without a single kill here. Config will deliver and help him out so we can focus on mid, and Farlig will output 2 kills. Rain thrusted into the clutch alone. It's 1v3 total for him. He has taken the first, allowing himself to pick up the bomb. He will realize that the 2 remaining players are the 2 B players. So likely he would have a bit of time to play with. The smoke is down at Moto, so Rain will select the plant position. And they are wrapping short. Depends where Rain decides to maneuver with this one. If he decides to go in towards long for this post plan or into the graveyard, it could be a strong enough spot to try and use some cover to isolate these into 1v1 fights. They're worried that Rain might wrap long and try and flank them, but Rain is just going to hold his position. Zipex hops up, good information, good maneuvering to try and get that info to the position that Rain had taken without exposing himself too long for the kill. And that allows blameF to join him and get the trade through. Defuse stuck, Astralis getting the round on the board. Good team play here between blameF and Zipex, time and time again.
A solid trade to close it out. It looked like a good call for FaZe early in the round. This apartments pop, I didn't think they could deal with, but the one player who had that opportunity was Config on the site. It was really important that he got that kill so that the short players could focus fully on top mid. That meant that Farlig was able to get those 2 kills into top mid before Rain could finally flank through the apartments. And then left in the 1v2. Had a decent opportunity, but Astralis were favored. There's been a lot of early utility on Banana, not this time. Farlig peaked early, and karrigan might want more.
karrigan just running forward, always in first. You said that before.
Oh, that AK is a little too far gone.
Yeah, unfortunately karrigan did get a lovely shot. Unable to follow up with it. So it's closed down, and so are the hopes of FaZe in this one. Astralis taking control of round 7.
Zipex getting some of those guns out of there. That might allow them to isolate this fight onto blameF, but I think Zipex has just now arrived back to help. blameF will require the help. He gets 2 of his own to lock it down. And Zipex also able to get that AWP at the end. So Astralis starting to put up a fight in the last couple of rounds. Again, Farlig getting caught out early. Luckily wasn't too costly because they had that 3B set up early. There wasn't much utility. There wasn't a molly to flush blameF out of his position. Looks like a similar setup here for Astralis. Farlig back on B again.
This time, luckily for Farlig, there isn't a rapid karrigan right up through Banana. So we won't have to deal with the rifle in his face within a split second. Instead, it's the opposite. FaZe Clan taking a slow round, and they have lost Banana. They throw some utility up to try and battle back. Good utility from Astralis being thrown back here, though.
Yeah, FaZe had 3 nades on Banana, so I think they were trying to up the pace towards A. They're still going to go for it here. Smoke is up on long. Still some good damage done by blameF.
Yeah,
and now I think you have to slow this down on the FaZe side.
Could have lost a player there. FaZe lucky to have everybody still standing as we hit the 1 minute mark left in the round. 4 players positioned quite heavily towards A. Zipix obviously playing from CT, can rotate back to B,
he's
but
playing anti-flash.
karrigan is going to sneak on by. There isn't going to be any sign for Farlig that he's here. And once again, karrigan will best him. And because of the setup that Astralis have employed, he can run forward into the site, but blameF has come back. They haven't snatched control of the site itself. Utility being tossed in. They're trying to patch this up. Some smokes go down, but finally the CT cross smoke has come through for FaZe. The fumble on the bomb. Zipix goes forward, tries to take the kill, and eventually will get one. blameF plays towards Ruins. Spotting as they go deeper into the site. karrigan walks into the crosshair. blameF takes down his fellow Dane. Now it's down to 2 players left for FaZe to try and close out this 2 versus 3. Glaive coming out through Banana. broky considers this maneuver and takes out Glaive. It's now back to a 2v2. There's no smoke here to smoke off Banana. That's the last piece of utility. Flashbang thrown in. They have to deal with the AWP. They have to try and get across. And now that they do, it's Rops's rifle that becomes the problem. And the time, even more of an issue working against blameF here, and he will go down. broky confirms the 5th round for FaZe Clan. A good recovery, and it comes down to that mistake in Banana. Farlig playing anti-flash, and karrigan makes the perfect maneuver to dodge him.
Yeah, you can understand why Farlig would think a peek back into Banana would rely on a flash in that scenario. Astralis fully cleared it out. But it's also something that is pretty common in the meta to play anti-flash like that. So karrigan gets ahead of it, just peeks dry to get that opening kill. And even though he wasn't able to get onto the B site as quickly as he wanted, he was trying to post up with that AWP into CT. They still had a smoke. broky landed a brilliant shot as well as they were entering the bomb site. It was close range. The bomb was getting thrown across. Had to make sure he delivered. Made sure to land that shot under pressure. And then FaZe quickly double up towards Banana, realizing they can take that initiative. As you pointed out, the lack of utility at the end there unfortunately made it so much more difficult for Astralis. Just the 1 rifle in the hands of blameF for this one on the Danish side of things. Not much utility either, so he may just have to try and get some good positioning and some good timing to take some favorable fights.
broky sends the flash over the half wall. blameF will take note of the utility used and peeks with the flash of his teammate to confirm that there is no one peeking Banana at that current point. And so with that information, sends 2 more players back over towards A to try and stack out this defense. Rain and Twist, though, have struck very early, and they have found all of the kills required. It is still Farlig within the site area. He's playing up in the apartments, and Rops knows that he hasn't quite checked this off his list. Nearly gets caught, but will still get the kill on Farlig. blameF will back away. That's around 4. FaZe picked up. Astralis just couldn't get back from B in time. Looks like the hunt's already on here to get rid of blameF's rifle too. You see Rops is being sent up Banana. It's pretty low here, Rops, though. Not a lot of money built up in the FaZe camp at the moment either, so throwing away a rifle probably cost you significant utility, maybe even force you down to the Galil. So shouldn't be seeing a commitment into the back of the site to remove blameF, and he should be carrying his weapon over and maintaining his 10-4 KD.
Looking good for FaZe here. Even if that is a round against a weaker buy, just the way the kills come in are very clean for them.
6 rounds already on the T side, nothing to scoff at, and given how this game has panned out so far, you would expect more to be picked up for FaZe.
Definitely feeling good for FaZe right now.
Talk to me, Hawker. How is the other stream going?
Well, Liquid are currently 11-7 up on the second map, on Furia's map pick. It looks like Furia have got off to a good start in that second half, so
yeah,
who's getting there?
I felt like it was a Top Gun there, asking you to talk to me with your call sign.
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty good one, actually, for a pilot, the Hawker.
Hawker's not bad.
It's all about flight.
It's way better than Dinka.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dinka wouldn't really strike fear into you as a pilot, but that's the secret, right?
Well, broky's got that orb into his hands. Glaive came close to lining up that spam through. Was thinking about the nade. Or Twist maybe needed to think a bit more about that nade. Landed right at the bottom of Banana. Another deep smoke, and Astralis have been getting Banana control in a lot of these rounds. We're even going to see Zipex push down, so it's another 4 A stack for Astralis. We'll see if they're able to be successful with this one. That's an awkward smoke. Astralis are peeking behind that smoke. They're seeing that top mid is pretty clear right now. They're actually moving through with Farlig.
Oh, this is quite active. But if they come back, if FaZe come back, they're going to have to try and deal with Farlig's advanced position. Doesn't really have a whole lot of support here. Farlig's done well on the first kill. Rops is out of boiler and dead on the floor. 35 seconds for FaZe Clan. Bomb is still back on the T-stairs. There's still peaks coming down. Banana from Zipex. karrigan very vocal about how he wants to play this one, but he's gone down on the long play. Farlig has done well in this round. 20 seconds. I don't know if FaZe can do anything here. I think they realize, all right, we can't do anything at this point. We have to back away. We have to save this one. We have to run into the hallways. Ray was too committed to get away, so he hangs around and will go down. So it's really only broky and Twist to get away with it. Yeah, that's not a really solid round at all from FaZe.
Yeah, I think FaZe got a little lost with the time there that was left for them. Farlig with a nice triple on the round, though. Got to give him credit. He was left alone here at top mid. It also might have been nice for them to coordinate that peak on the FaZe side. It is an uncommon position that Farlig's playing, but if you have someone in top mid, maybe you can get the quick trade and put the pressure on Astralis. And then FaZe were trying to make some noise back at B, a flash towards Banana, seeing if they could keep those players in place. But by the time they went down to a 3v5, it didn't even matter at that point. Top Banana smoke deployed early from karrigan. He's going to sit in it, and they can flash him in for an early fight, potentially. Nades go deep. broky takes a bit of damage. Looks like karrigan won't be going through the smoke yet. But I think he might have realized that Astralis have gone back here.
What a swing out from Zipex. It's karrigan's head that is claimed first. No reply from FaZe. They have not avenged their fallen in-game leader. They won't be on the B side just yet. They're going to start to drop back. Twist left to just try and throw out the last pieces of utility. And oh, he's missed that one. A little shake of frustration. 1 minute on the clock. FaZe Clan shifting their full focus towards this A side. If they go now, there is only 2 players here for the time being. Config is starting to make that rotate back. FaZe have smoked off the arch. No library smoke, so Config can still play from there. They haven't really taken too much control for the time being. Astralis have mollied them off short. They're hitting the 40 seconds, and they've doubled up in pit. This is starting to look solid for Astralis. This is going to be difficult to clear out for FaZe.
Smoke drop by Glaive to keep him in that position. Still a player in mini pit as well, and they've been stalled so long on the FaZe side, finally making their move, but Config gets through the long smoke, traded quickly, but Farlig also in position, shuts it down. A solid crossfire for Astralis. As you pointed out, very difficult for FaZe to overcome that. And I almost feel like you could see FaZe realize that themselves as they stopped on short for a second.
As the arch smoke comes out, they don't smoke library, so Config can still be activated. And the adjustment once Astralis realize that it's going to be the A play, and you get the 2 players that were actually positioned, one out long, one on short, to throw down the molly on short to buy some extra time, and that allows them to double up in the pit. Good adjustments here from Astralis. Their CT side will be strong. It will deliver moments. That's why they need as many rounds as possible out of this first half. The best case scenario is now 9 rounds. They should tie this up in just a moment. 1 kill away from doing so. It's now 6-6. We're all tied up again in this series.
Or at least on this map. Yeah.
Maybe the series if Astralis can close this one out.
Yeah, hopefully they can keep this up.
If we do need to go to the third map, it won't be Mirage. As we heard yesterday from Astralis, blameF has taken over calling duties on that map. An extra rifle and spawn.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Config dropping his nades. He might go aggressive here.
Let's get a run on down. Go 47 out. Spot on the back and twists. A lovely kill from Config. karrigan makes quick work of it.
Farlig had the opportunity to peek down mid himself, but he missed his shot. Could have been an early advantage. Instead, just a 1-for-1. Really, that favors FaZe here. Astralis now into a 4v4 on their CT side. Won't be able to play as easily together. There will be some openings left on the map. Right now, it's Zipex who's being left alone on B. But FaZe have been going for a lot of A plays. This time, they get the early pick. That could make this A-sided play so much easier.
blameF's going to play out from the cubby, peeks on in, catches Rain. Glaive also following up with a kill on Rops. It is karrigan that continues to find some output here for FaZe Clan. With the motor smoke currently down, it will allow karrigan to put the bomb down on default. broky stands in the pit. A piece of information to take note of is karrigan is low. He's on 22 HP. And Zipex is quite quick to get up through the apartments. karrigan's going to tuck himself towards the back of the A site. Zipex starts to extend out of the balcony. His teammate of blameF working his way up short. These two players have been fantastic at working their way back into these retake rounds and finding the gap and finding the opening. Zipex forces that fight again. Bomb planted on default. Someone needs to get on the defuse. Zipex gets the double kill, but the time should just be enough, but it's going to be down close. And, oh, just about taken here for Astralis. Zipex again cleaning up the retake alongside blameF.
This looked like a good decision from FaZe to move into this A site after they get this clean entry. That was the shot from Rain that I thought would be the difference maker, but the coordination was awkward. It wasn't great from FaZe. They don't get that smoke up onto long in time. That allows a kill before the smoke blooms. At least they were able to trade out the apartments, but that's what allowed Astralis the opportunity in a 2v2 retake. They're now into the lead. FaZe are down onto weaker weapons, but a lot of utility behind this buy. Setting up the quick top mid play.
Oh, Wave comes out boilery. Here's the steps. He's able to get around at least the back of karrigan, but he has seen that one has escaped the net. Glaive is under pressure and eventually will be overrun. FaZe have cracked a hole open on this A site, but look at Astralis. They're quick on the rotate back. They've run through the smokes. They've disrespected them. But there's one smoke too many, and it's that moto smoke that you do not feel good about running through. Once again, it'll come down to the retake. This time in a 3 versus 4.
A lot of utility for Astralis. They've got to make the most of it. We need those mollies to flush out some of those positions on the FaZe side. There are players in pit that could be cleared out. Oh, Rain was peeking.
And now Rops looks to be activated. Farlig considers the move, but he goes right into the boiler and takes a Tech 9 shot to the head. Just blameF.
Oh.
Rops moves forward with his newfound weapon. And the spoils of war will get the kill on blameF. And FaZe Clan, off the back of a quick call into the A site, find the gap, catch Astralis a little sleeping, and have found themselves the reply and the round that'll tie things up.
I really like some of these fast A calls right now on Inferno. It is pretty common to see teams start out with 3 towards B on the CT side. And you see what that can open up for you on the FaZe side. Rain gets up long so quick. And he gets that opening kill that puts so much pressure on Astralis. Final round of the half. broky almost gets the kill. Config will get the hell out of there.
Yeah, he's done damage there, but hasn't claimed the life of one. broky, oh, missed shot. That is wild from blameF. He goes right into the fire, goes right into the fight and comes away with broky. In the meantime, Rops has taken a double through the smoke. Farlig and Config are down, and karrigan wants to move on this play into the A site. While they're preoccupied inside of B, FaZe Clan find the opening on A and leave it all onto Zipex and blameF. This time they don't want to allow them to into the retake spot. Rops wants to stop them before they even get near the site, and FaZe Clan will finish strong on the first half of Inferno. They have a 1-round lead going into the break. The Intel Extreme Masters returns for the second half of Astralis versus FaZe Clan on Inferno. FaZe Clan will lead by 1 round. They now transition to the defense. This is where FaZe Clan can do a lot of the heavy lifting. A lot of the work comes from this side of things. Karrigan with a kit in the pistol rain with the diffuse kit, rather the smoke. And they're going to be charging up Banana here. Astralis looking to have some speed behind the B play.
I don't think Rain Smoke's going to stop them. They're going to go straight through that. Rain tries to challenge. Nate's coming in. He's not able to get any kills. At least they have the kit, but it's got to be a full retake.
Yeah, well, now they push the wall, but they got a little too far rather, in config. Goes right into Rain. It's an easy kill to come through for the pistol. FaZe will now hold the advantage, but it has to be a retake. You still have to go through to this B site. And given how many players are in here for Astralis, it could get a little spicy. Zipex has moved forward, realizing they're just sitting ducks if they stay within the site. He goes forward and chops down 2, but leaves it all on Farlig. And Twist will come and sweep up the last few frags. A double for him to close out the first round of the second half.
You saw Astralis there trying to get proactive in the post plant on B. And that can make sense. There aren't that many positions you can play comfortably on the B site all the time. But I think here in the pistol, you know there's not going to be that much utility for FaZe. I'm not sure you needed to get so proactive. Once they were down in the 3v5, I think it was a good decision for Zipex to try and get something going. He's been pretty good at knowing when to try and make those moves. But good patience from FaZe, waiting for those fights that Astralis did give them. Off the Back of the bomb plant, though, Astralis have plenty of cash to try and make this next round also just as competitive.
Well, karrigan runs down banana early. He's got a lot of control. Look at Zip. He's just been chunked down. 47 HP left. No longer will he be allowed to keep the AK. Give me that.
That's such a tilter if you're ZipX.
It's like, damn. Just started the round with an AK. Didn't even see anybody. Now gotta give it away.
There's utility here for Astralis. Molly could maybe flush karrigan out of position, but if smoke will come through.
Bullets might do that.
Yeah, he's going to be forced back. That's actually nice for Astralis. Now there's not the same deep banana control for FaZe. It's going to make it a little more difficult for them to predict the Astralis side.
This force buy is strong for Astralis. There definitely is a shot at pulling this one off, but it comes down to the initial fights once it's crunch time. And we're starting to get close to that moment. 45 seconds. blameF watches for the rotation of karrigan. If the arch extension comes through, blameF would be in a tough spot. He's so focused on it. karrigan looks for the pick, but it's actually blameF that comes out worse for wear in that. He's down to 8 HP, and now they're sending it up through banana. Astralis looking to commit into Rin, who gets a double on the MP9. He nearly gets one more on the SMG. And karrigan's turning the rotate back. He's got himself one. broky will make sure the second kill comes in quickly. And it is just blameF left alone, running back with 7 seconds. Nothing he can do here. It is a solid round for FaZe, surviving the force bite and putting themselves up on double figures.
Lovely work from Rain, making sure to get FaZe off to a good start in the round. Not always easy to play up close here when the flashes are coming your way, but he dodges it wisely. And close range, the MP9 has that high fire rate that can be so effective. And with that lack of utility, Astralis were running into the blender on the B-bomb site at the end there. So blameF is going to have $0 after saving that AK.
But he'll have an AK. What would you rather have? Money in the bank or an AK?
Oh! Maybe a D.
Maybe a bit of config. I'd rather have a config, that's for sure. First kill of the round here for Astralis. Let's see if he can get another one. Astralis need to extend upon that.
I've seen Rain be very solid in these positions where he's been left by himself. This time he takes a couple of early shots. It's a good decision to fall back. With that smoke, he'll be able to reload, make sure he has full ammo if he is needed.
Astralis realized they have forced him back, likely with the utility use that. So they're gonna fake out on all the amount of steps. They actually come back down through mid, and they're now reapproaching banana again. So Astralis is taking their time here. They know they've got a lot of it, and they still have that player advantage for the time being. Obviously, one smoke isn't ideal. So if you do want to have a shot at winning a round, likely the B site would be the easier site to attack, because you can just smoke out CT, and it becomes even easier to attack this B site if you get 2 of your teammates through the archway and try to split the B site from 2 sides.
Twist still jiggle peeking. This incendiary will help hold off banana. One player was thinking about going ahead of it. And Rain is also watching CT, but now they don't need to smoke CT. They've smoked Arch instead. Rain still holding.
Oh, config. A big deke again. blameF comes in. Astralis are finding the crucial kills and have cleared out the B site. It is down to a retake for FaZe into this one. And it's just such a fantastic call from Astralis to get those 2 players through CT. A retake's impossible with no utility and no kit. They're too far away. Not enough was done. And Astralis, that is not a round that looked like it should have gone their way. But FaZe Clan dropped the ball slightly, leave a gap open towards CT. And Astralis capitalize upon it. And that's that 1D kill early on that leaves a weakness in the defense, right? You're going to miss out. You're going to have a hole somewhere. And an amazing shot from config. He gets a second too.
It's a great example of why it probably is most difficult to go down to a 4v5 early on Inferno out of all the maps. And that's why I'm so surprised that FaZe decide to challenge mid. You know that blameF even saved an AK on the other side. It's a risky fight to take. A one-shot headshot is always potentially going to be there. And Config also very patient as Twist tried to take CT to help his teammate. Great split into the B site, and Astralis, well, they've put FaZe into a position now where the full investment doesn't look so great.
Yeah, they've thrown everything they've got at it. It's not a lot. Opportunity though for FaZe to get back on track. Astralis realize they smell blood in the water. This is their opportunity to build on this T side early, to force FaZe down to nothing. Banana fight comes through straight away. blameF will force them back. Looks like they're going to be setting karrigan up on the boost with the rifle. Rain will play alongside of him.
I would like an execute here in this round from Astralis. FaZe don't have the most utility to work with. You should be aware that you put the CT economy into an awkward position. You can already hear some of those weaker weapons firing shots. The MP9 of Rain spamming. He takes more damage.
Well, delivery there, thank you very much. From the courier of broky. It's a smoke now in the hands of Rain. He can re-smoke out Banana in just a moment here and buy a few more seconds. I think Astralis would disrespect another smoke here though, and that might just give an opportunity here for Rain to lay down the law with the MP9. Smoke goes into CT. Astralis begin their executing towards this B side, and Rain goes through the smoke and to no avail this time. karrigan up on the boost, and now becomes more difficult because they can focus on him. It really needs to be more than one, and karrigan just gets the single kill. blameF with a fast tread back. broky taking damage to the smoke at Coffins. He tries to hop on up, a risk needed. And blameF chopping through them. FaZe have to save the two remaining players. There's no shot in this round. And Astralis will force them down into an uncomfortable position for the following round. And Astralis now push forward to 9.
You see how uncomfortable it can be for FaZe there. With a lack of weaponry and lack of utility. Rain feels like he's got to get something going. I do like the patience from Astralis. Realizing they could afford to take a good bit of time on their B approach. Oh, Astralis showing us that they can put up a good fight on FaZe's map pick. And in their one map of Inferno they have played so far at Cologne, they were able to beat Cloud9, and they also were able to take 10 T rounds. Now, against Cloud9, I think we were probably both agreeing that Cloud9 were not at their best.
No.
Their individuals were struggling, which I think is why Astralis were able to get so many T rounds. They're able to find so many weaknesses in Cloud9's setups. But they are still showing that they can compete on their T side here against FaZe. And I think for FaZe, it's really important now you get on top of that economy. We talked about how the comeback on Overpass kind of felt like it was in part down to the fact that FaZe rarely got those proper full buys available to them. I think it is now time for FaZe to make sure they focus on getting that proper buy available in the future.
That's a great flash.
Yeah, and that flash could help you maybe even just compete in this round.
And FaZe realized they need a play like that to get into this round. But look at this config. He will often go ahead and find the gap. If there is a gap, he will find it. He's moved his way up long already, taking significant ground here. blameF is pushed down mid, trying to get rid of Rops. Worried about second middle. The config's moved up, so blameF tries to play with him. Twist has no idea the config could be so far up. And now Rops and Rain, their position becomes even more important inside of the apartments. Because Astralis realize they're playing inside apps. That means we've got the site. We can just walk towards it, put the bomb down, as long as we keep them at bay inside of that. And get ourselves into some comfortable post-plant positions and force them into the retake attempt.
Definitely time to save those rifles for FaZe.
Just wasn't really enough done on the initial hold. I like the first play there from Rops, though.
Yeah, it was a nice way to try and get the advantage in the round. Config just taking a risk, though, and getting really good timing. He snuck past those second mid players. Could clearly see that FaZe were hoping that he could hold and that they couldn't let that sneak pass come through. One of those rifles has been dropped for FaZe. They've got to make sure they can get that back. karrigan will do just that.
Tied up. It's good to see Astralis getting T rounds early on in this half, though. You know, this is a map that they're comfortable playing. You've been gone for it as a pick before. T side looking good so far. But as you said, you know, we would really love to see FaZe get control of that economy game. Well, this is not a bad buy by any means at all. They've got a good amount of utility. They've got the AWP out, more importantly, here in the hands of broky. His CT side on overpass was incredible. Can he get to some of those numbers here?
Not necessarily as easy to play as actively on the CT side of Inferno, but he's going aggressive into the apartments this time.
Zupex is the rifle looking to challenge him. Missed shot from broky. He goes back again. What a madman. Zupex taken away. And he'll just run away now. That's a big opening for FaZe found.
Yeah, you just see Astralis realizing there probably is rifle support, so they didn't want to just commit and come into another fight, and that gives broky a bit more breathing room to be able to take that second fight with confidence. And now broky coming straight back to B.
Config in the meantime is taking damage elsewhere. Astralis getting softened up. broky being dynamic in his rotations. He's back over to B to patch up the hole there. And they extend the advantage further here for FaZe. karrigan, a perfect spot to watch Farlig's attempt around the long corner. It's all crumbling. You couldn't get a better round than that. FaZe Clan keep everybody up. broky gets the AWP out and immediately sees impact.
Just a little initiative taken early, puts Astralis onto the back foot. You see that Astralis are kind of just trying to find fights back into the round, find ways back into it, and broky makes them pay. They go for constant dry fights to try and get that frag back, and it never happens. You can't take that many dry fights against this FaZe Clan roster. I think Astralis will figure that out into this round. Utility used early on Banana. Split goes down. There is a gap, so config can peek behind it. That's a really solid start for Astralis, getting that early map control. Config can still hold on to this. Up top, you'll see that no one is aggressing onto Banana right now. Rotate was there briefly for FaZe. They have actually left that AWP over towards B. And oh no, Rain's just been taken out by the nade.
Oh, that's a sinker. That's going to feel like a real sinking feeling for FaZe Clan right now. Haven't pulled the trade back yet at all. That top mid smoke will start to fade away, but it's the double setup in the boiler right now. Twist defending the doorway. ropz looks up the stairs. Eventually Astralis will come around the corner. Sound cues being given on over. They hear that they're not coming short. Instead, it's the long play. Finally, the barrel of Farlig spotted, and Twist unleashed. That's the bomb. That's the bomb that's rolling to the ground right in front of Twist. And so Astralis have to cancel their plans of going long and come back to try and pick up the bomb. The recovery mission begins for the Danes, and it's a big recovery needed. It's not looking like it's going to be happening. broky with another shot. Finally, ropz taken out, but glaive needs much more, and he'll be backing into middle. karrigan will find him. There wasn't even really enough time to get into a position there for glaive. 12 rounds for FaZe Clan, and it's that bomb at the back of the pack. Twist peeks out. They got around the corner. It's just that final player that cost them.
Yeah, and it's a little strange to have that bomb just not with the pack. Astralis had all their players up through A-long already. As soon as FaZe see that, just licking their lips, they realize, well, now they have to come back to us. Now we've got really good positions to work with.
And look what this has done to the game in terms of the economy here for Astralis. They are broken down. They don't have enough money to get a solid buyout here, so timeout taken for Astralis to talk through their options. Talk about how they can get back into this, because FaZe Clan have found an opportunity to try and steal this one away. 4 away from taking the series. It should be 13. I do have the rifle here for config.
Clearly that double boiler stack is something Astralis just did not anticipate in the slightest.
Really cool how FaZe Clan have actually committed so heavily in the apps time and time again.
Not too much utility for Astralis in this one either. And we've seen whenever FaZe just get the opportunity to hold the angle, They've been winning almost every fight so far this time.
Luckily, Farlig's movement's not great. He didn't get onto the balcony the first time. He would have gone down 2 ROPs. And actually, maybe it was intentional. We'll give him the intentional movement because it pulled ROPs into the wider fight and exposes him to the bridge. And that opens up a chance for Astralis to claim a gun.
A little surprising to see ROPs play so far forwards in the apartments by himself. Normally at this level of play, you want to have 2 players stacked in there. Felt like he could just take that early fight, but didn't get it. Ended up going against him. And now FaZe rotate away from B. They have to leave a weakness on the map. The upside is Rain has this incendiary, but there are a couple of smokes for Astralis, and Rain actually deploys it early. I like that FaZe are peeking down mid, but I'm not sure it's going to get them info quickly enough to rotate back.
Which means Rain needs to deliver some impact from the get-go. Here they come through the smoke. Rain gets 1 kill, and here comes karrigan. Right through the smoke, gets the double, and the bomb is down. Zipex and Config out of there. karrigan goes back in for more. And karrigan's having so much fun holding on to this side. broky comes over, and FaZe Clan, I don't know what they've given karrigan, but he is fast to get back to the B side.
Oh, Astralis will be so frustrated with that gap in the CT smoke. karrigan arriving could have been locked out. Instead, he peeks behind the smoke, and if anything, it almost feels like it's favoring him. He's just got a little cover in front to work with. He's able to spot a couple of players on the edge of that smoke, and then even spots for the further aggression. broky went down, but he was able to put a nade out with him. 13-10 lead, at least Astralis get back to a bye. broky looks like he's blinded himself there. It's all good, he'll just play back. FaZe have used a lot of utility on Banana. Rain will get full control. Meanwhile, Astralis pretty happy to just take the apartments early. Still plenty of time for them to work with. We see another smoke down onto Banana from one of the A players.
Yeah, that's great. That's really cool from FaZe. Just consolidating control of B for a few moments longer.
I mean, Astralis wanted a slow round in this one, and still FaZe have used a lot of their utility early. karrigan uses his final smoke. Barely any CT utility remaining. So now Astralis have got a good opportunity to get that map control back. And they will do exactly that, using their utility on Banana, forcing FaZe away, taking information away from the CTs. And they don't want to go B, they're coming back to A, where FaZe have got a heavy stack onto the site itself. But this could allow Astralis to gain a lot of ground here before they go for their play.
Boy, here they come around the corner once again. karrigan looking to spoil their plans. It's the first kill for karrigan, a second locked in, and nearly knocks down a third. Damage is being deployed, and this attack forward from Astralis is completely softened, set up perfectly for the final rifles, but Farlig has other plans. Suddenly a 2K collected for Farlig, and maybe a chance to turn this into an 11th round for Astralis. He starts to consider the rotations. He'll play from the barrel and watch for the short extension around the corner, but it hasn't come in. Eventually, Farlig will feel like he needs to move, he needs to change it up and focus on long instead. FaZe have doubled up the 2 remaining players, coming in with rifles as broky swaps out to the AK. Sound cues being made. Farlig positions himself under the porch and tries to catch them as they cross on over. Nearly gets a shot at the lineup, but the retake will come in. FaZe will go to 14, and karrigan is destroying his former organization in these CT rounds.
Huge credit to karrigan. 20 kills for him now. And this is incredible because he's not normally the A-long player. This is around where broky on the orb decides to commit B, and normally that leaves the rifler on long in a very difficult position. karrigan needed to get 2 kills there because with the FaZe setup they had on the site, if they get wrapped from both sides in a 4v2 onto the site, they're going to have an almost impossible time holding. But thankfully, karrigan steps up with incredible impact. It's always great to see karrigan when he's able to have games like this topping the charts.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure the chat can be spamming that one because he is definitely delivering. I'm glad his chat with James worked out. Maybe sat down a little bit. How do you get more output from the IGL? He's showing some crazy plays. I love the wide swing. karrigan is he's always a good wide swinger. We've seen him over on B on some of the rotations. This time it's just a strong hold on the A long spot. Great to see him.
Hero AK for Blame. Early banana play looks ready, and Rain needs to get his gun out.
He's got his gun out in time. He'll start to lay down some hellfire. Zipex and Farlig out of there. Rain with a quick double, and that's taking the sting out of it. Look what Twist has found himself down in mid. Glaive had no idea that Twist would be there so quickly, and this has foiled the plans of Astralis. FaZe have kicked into another gear at this point. They look just about done with this series. They're everywhere. They are literally everywhere. Astralis have nowhere to go.
As soon as FaZe sense any weakness, as soon as they think they figured out what Astralis are trying, the other players are confident that they can just take the map control back. They can take their aggressive plays. Obviously great that Rain gets these early couple of kills. And then they also have the utility to top banana, which forces Astralis back. FaZe gave Astralis no way into that round. They shut the door, and they might be locking them out of this series.
And FaZe Clan might just be locking themselves into the semi-finals. One more round, and they have done it. Farlig up banana early. Nades go down from FaZe, a little deep to be impactful on towards Farlig. Once again, Rob set up with a similar flash play. Seen him see success from that before, but not to be in this round. He doesn't overstay his welcome. He drops back out of the apartments.
Trying to nade that boosted position. No one there though. broky holding with this orb into CT. Smoke has just been deployed into banana with the incendiary though, so Astralis forced back briefly. FaZe again using a fair amount of utility early in the round. But we've seen when they feel like they've got a read on what FaZe or what Astralis are doing, FaZe are very quick to adjust, very quick to respond. This time karrigan has been drawn away from A. He's rotating as the third player to stack this B site. It's up to Twist and Rops to try to be the heroes on A.
Farlig was dropped 2 flashes. But Astralis look to try and pop out through the balcony.
To hold.
Yeah, Rops does have a very strong spot. Twist also getting into the site now. Rob's good for one, he's blinded, so just tuck your head down. A little too exposed for Zipex, who lands another lightning fast shot. Zipex takes a 3K in the site, and Astralis are not done yet off the back of that. It forces the save call from FaZe. Zipex was a little quieter here on Inferno, but that's a massive round.
Crazy kills. I thought Rops might just spray if he got blinded on that angle, but he went away from it. Unfortunately, could only get the one. And then Zipex starts to isolate the other angles. Rotate was arriving, but Zipex denies. There's only one more player on the site that they're able to take out of there. Astralis now up to 11.
Astralis have to be perfect from this point onwards just to get overtime, but that was Rops being a little overexposed. Zipex, that second shot was the ridiculous one that karrigan, I'm sure, still recovering from. The whiplash. Third just to complete the highlight. Great job done there from Zipex. Round 27 begins. Astralis with a strong purchase. Twists. Flash and a peek in towards middle while his 3 teammates of FaZe start on the B-bomb site. Oh, that nade is meaty onto blameF. Takes half of his health off.
broky patient with the orb. There should be utility against him, but he's trying to beat it. He's trying to go ahead, but he's been blinded. And now Rain's trapped.
Rain is under extreme pressure, but he gets over the top of the sandbox and goes into the fight. karrigan helping him out. It is starting to look like it's over here. FaZe Clan have put themselves into the 2-man advantage position. Twist holds the long smoke. Config is down. And just like that, it is Zipex, the hero of the previous round, left up against 4. It's a shot on Twists. To pull off a round like this, it would take some real magic. The bomb safely in possession of FaZe, and the series as well. They're heading to the semi-finals. They've taken down Astralis. The semi-finals and the Lanxess await the FaZe clan.